Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Pizza Time. I think we're now on episode 3, which is really good. It means I haven't slacked yet, which I'm quite chuffed about. Thank you to everyone who listened to last week's episode with Asari. I think it was probably the best one yet, if I'm honest. But the best one yet means that there's still more good ones to come. So, today I'm by myself again. Couldn't find anyone, / I didn't look because I've been quite busy recently. So today I'm just going to be talking by myself. I also haven't got any pizza, which I'm just sorry for my sake really, because I do love pizza and that's the whole point of Pizza Time. So today I'm just going to be talking and that's it. No or anything like that. No ASMR. So today, you'll probably know this from the title already, we're going to be talking about identity. Yeah, this was the most requested on my Insta poll thing that I did. So today I'm talking about that. So people pleaser, yeah. So identity. I think identity is a mixture of the characteristics that make up who we are and what our personality is. Everyone's got an identity, of course. They're all different, but some are similar. So yeah. Normally, your identity or your personality is a reflection of the people you hang around. Sometimes your identity changes. Yeah, it depends on where you are in life, really, when your identity changes. But yeah, I don't know my complete identity yet. I'm still only 18 years old, so my identity has lots of room to grow and become different, I guess. I know that at the minute I'm quite funny, or I think I am anyway. You may disagree with that. I'm kind, I'm thoughtful, and I'm really just your typical nice guy, like the nice guy in movies you see, who's like, oh, he's nice, but he never really gets anything, any of the girls or anything like that. It's just a nice guy. Some people, they may identify as your typical high school jock, bit of your lad's go out drinking, whatnot. Just sometimes they're not very nice, but yeah. Some may come across as like quite nerdy or geeky. Like I said, everyone's different. I've noticed through my own personal experiences that people aren't sure what their identity is, or they'll change it so that they can fit in with the people around them. For me, I tend to notice when this happens. When I was in sixth form, I knew this guy. He was in the year below me, but because I failed an exam or something, I had to do a subject that was in the year below me, so we were in that class together. I'm going to call him Greg, because there were no Gregs in the school, and I don't want to out him out in front of everyone just yet. Maybe I will down the line, who knows? Whenever I was around Greg, he was... I know whenever I was around him and no one else was around, it was just me and him. He was always this quite nice guy. He was chatty. You could have good conversation with Greg. But whenever someone else was around, or when other people around, more specifically the year below, what? I'm making up words. The year above, like the lads in that year, he would always change into this complete idiot, if I'm honest. He would turn into someone who was chatty, to someone who was quite mouthy and wouldn't get any work done. He would brag about stuff that he'd done, like talk about the girl he had just got with, or something that just wasn't class related, you know, we all know what we're talking about. And from a teacher's perspective, he was a nightmare to teach whenever others were around, because he would just mess around all the time for no reason. It's quite dangerous to do this, to switch your personality and stuff. Maybe that was his real personality. I would never know, and he was just being nice to me when it was just me and him. But whenever I was with him, I couldn't really trust him. I couldn't trust Greg, because I wouldn't know if he'd use what I'd said to him, and use what I say as banter when others are around. So say I was giving him a good deep conversation about feelings and stuff. Maybe he would just, when others were around, he'd just switch it and go, oh, Josh feels, something idiotic like that. I don't know. So I could never really trust him. And when you don't know who you are, people can manipulate you to do what they want and what they want you to be. So a lot of people, I noticed in high school and sixth form, that people would not use people, but they would keep people around for their entertainment, because they would know that people would do what they would want them to do. So like, say you're at a party and you said to this guy, well, down your drink, he would down it instantly because he would want to fit in, or he would drink ridiculous amounts if that's what people wanted. Someone once said, and I'm not too sure who it is, so don't quote me if it's not real, they once said, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. As I said, I can't remember who it is, but I've stolen that quote on more than one occasion, so if you've heard it before, it was me, probably, yeah. But I can't take credit for it because it's not mine. Whenever I would go to a party, I always use my religious beliefs of getting out of things I don't want to do, such as excessive amounts of drinking. I'd always have one or two because I'm a cool dude, you know. I'd always have a couple of beers, a couple of cans. Not rum or anything like that. If you're listening and you know who you are, rum is disgusting. I'm sorry, I don't like it. You can fight me on that later on. So I wouldn't do any excessive amounts of drinking, getting with girls, and maybe other things that would happen at your parties, maybe drugs or something worse. Not that the parties I went to had much worse than drugs, but, you know, sometimes worse things can happen. Plus, I would never really get with girls anyway, because it's not really who I am, and normally my woman crush Wednesday was never there, so I couldn't cheat on my crush in my head, even though we're not a thing. It's just not the right thing to do. If you've got a crush, don't get with other girls. But yeah, anyway, a lot of people will use money, clothes, or anything that shows them doing well as like their personality. Like, you'll see someone who is wearing, I don't know, some expensive clothing. There's too many brands out there, like a full Supreme outfit, but their personality is a bit like stale bread, so you don't really talk to them or anything like that. Sometimes I wear typically nice things that may cost more than the average pair of whatever that is. But normally when I do it, I wear it because they either look nice or they're comfortable, not to like make a fashion statement. I mean, I like to make a good old fashioned statement, don't get me wrong, but I normally do it for a tenner, not £100 and £300. Whenever I buy expensive clothing, for example, I always, like, for example, I used to wear a lot of Off-White, but I would never buy the real thing, because why would you spend £300 on a t-shirt? That's just dumb. I'll take my $25.95 hoodie, thank you very much, and save 200. I'd save a lot of money. I'm quite poor, so I do that anyway. So yeah, I just edit that bit out. Our current president, well, my current president anyway, even though I'm not American, Obama recently said in an interview with Time magazine, I think it was, if you're confident with your financial situation, you probably won't be wearing an £8 chain around your neck, because you know in your head you've got money and you don't need to show it, and you feel good because you know you've got money. So for anyone, and I think that's a really important quote, because there is too much flexing, and I'm doing the air quotations when I say that, and people are showing off what they have, not showing off what they have to offer. So like, I know Rice Gum, if you're listening, Rice Gum, shout out to you. You're probably not, but shout out to you. He wears a lot of expensive clothing, but I don't know how to say is that being mean if he is listening, but he's not, so I'm just going to say he's a bit of a douche. He'll go around and just do whatever he wants to people, and I think he probably has improved. I'm talking about back in the day when like he was doing that KSI rap battles and whatever, so that was a while ago. I haven't listened to him in the past year, so I don't know what he's like, but he'd always flex. And then there was that Little Tay or whatever, they would all be fake flexers. So for anyone out there that is fake flexing, I know you probably still haven't paid your rent for the month yet, so stop flexing and get paying. Yeah. If you're struggling to find your identity, I know that sometimes I am as well, I'm not too sure who I am. I recommend that you maybe take some personality tests, and I mean some real ones, not some personality tests on BuzzFeed, unless you want to find out what flavoured, flavoured Fanta you are. Like, 'cause those are good fun, I do them from time to time. Normally I'm like orange because I'm boring, and that's the most basic one really. Anyway, so yeah, take a personality test. I took one a while ago, and it was quite helpful to know a bit more about myself, but I can't remember what it was, so I can't recommend that one. But yeah, find a real one. Maybe take some time to read the Bible. You may find that some answers in there, you may not. It depends where you read. I'm not too sure where the best place to read is, but I know that reading the Bible is good. But most importantly, take some time to calibrate what you are, or who you are, and what you stand for. Because once you know in your head and heart who you are, no one can really tell you who you are anymore. So if you're one of those high school kids out there and you're a bit lost in thought, just remember you're not alone, is all I have to say. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this episode of Pizza Time. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to check out Wild Shop. Yeah, buy some stuff on there. If you want to support the podcast, that's the best way to do it. Or if you just like to wear nice clothing, that's also a nice way to go. I think to the 28th of February, so the release date of this episode, is the last day to use the discount code PizzaTime1 for 15% off. But there'll be more promo codes out there in the future. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening. If you have anything you want me to talk about, or any questions you want me to answer, feel free to send them over. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye.